people can truly enjoy freedom and democracy. And now we would like to introduce our foreign dignitaries. Please rise and wave to us when your name is called. Please welcome the Honorable Valerie Wood, Speaker of House of Representatives, Belize. Welcome. The Honorable Nadia Navarro Acevedo, Senator of Mexico. Ambassador Derek Mitchell, President of the National Democratic Institute, USA. The Honorable Mr. Matas Mildeikis, member of the Seimas and head of the Lithuanian Parliamentary Group for the Relations with the Republic of China, Taiwan. The Honorable Mr. Janusz Vucans, member of the Saima and chairman of the Latvian Parliamentary Group for the Support of Taiwan. And the Honorable Mr. Yuri Janssen, member of the Riijikogu and chairman of the Estonian Support Group of Taiwan. So ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to welcome our excellencies, ambassadors, and honorable representatives from this side. Please wave at us. Welcome. Thank you very much for your support. Today, we're deeply honored by the presence of important guests from home and abroad. And as you can see, we have very important and a stellar lineup of dignitaries attending this important Open Parliament Forum, hoping to further our cooperation and exchanges. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Her Excellency Tsai Yingwen, President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, with a warm round of applause. And joining the delegation, as you can see, that's President of the Legislative Yuan, Yeo Shih-kun, as well as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Joseph Wu. A warm welcome to our distinguished guests. And thank you so much, President Tsai. And please come up to the stage to give us your remarks. A round of applause to President Tsai. Please be seated.
Good morning. 我们游锡坤院长
Legislative Yuan President Yeo, Speaker Woods, parliamentarians from Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Mexico, Ambassador Michelle, members of the Legislative Yuan, distinguished guests both here and online, good morning. First of all, let me extend a warm welcome to our friends from around the world joining us at the 2021 Open Parliament Forum. I would also like to thank all those who have traveled to Taiwan to be here today, as well as those who are participating online despite time differences. All of the countries represented at this forum are important members of the international community of democracies. Faced with an ever-changing global landscape and the continued expansion of authoritarianism, I believe that our goal should be to forge a stronger democratic alliance and to bolster our collective democratic resilience. Having endured authoritarian rule, the Taiwanese people bravely walked a long and difficult path of democratization and built a resilient and dynamic civil society. But every democracy, no matter how hard won, requires constant renewal and strengthening. Over the years, through the joint efforts of our government, parliament, and civil society groups, Taiwan has continued to pursue our goal of open government and open parliament. Among the key results of these efforts are the Legislative Yuan's Open Parliament Action Plan and the Executive Yuan's Open Government National Action Plan, both launched this year. Step by step, we are establishing a solid foundation for joining the Open Government Partnership. In recent years, Taiwan has also been strengthening cooperation with its democratic friends. Japan and Australia become official partners in the global cooperation and training framework which Taiwan and the United States jointly founded. We have also started working with the partners outside of the Indo-Pacific region, including those in Europe, and address key global issues and deepen exchanges. Taiwan stands on the front lines of democracy. We are willing to work with our like-minded partners to safeguard our shared values of freedom and democracy. Today's forum exemplifies this spirit of cooperation. By sharing experiences and exchanging views, we can together ensure that we will pass on our democratic way of life to future generations. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. I look forward to further cooperation toward even stronger and more resilient democratic alliances. And I wish this forum every success. Thank you.
For taking time out of your busy schedule to attend the Open Parliament Forum. As President Tsai has other prior engagement, she has to leave now. Please send President Tsai with a warm round of applause. 我们谢谢蔡总统莅临，非常感谢。As mentioned by President Tsai, we know that Taiwan is at the frontier of democracy. Please be seated. Thank you very much. It is vital for democracies to share our experiences and to stand by the important values of freedom and democracy. And I believe that a lot of dignitaries present today all face the experience of being ruled by the authoritarian government, just like Taiwan. And now we all understand that democracy is such a hard-won achievement, and it is vital for us to stand by together. So that to the stage to give us the opening remarks. 有请游院长。
伍兹议长，马马豆主席，胡灿主席，杨孙主席，还有纳瓦罗主席，各位远从美洲、欧洲及亚洲各地来的，参加实体，或者是各位在线上的。各位贵宾，我们国内的各位立法院的委员，还有萧董事长，各位女士、各位先生，媒体的朋友，大家早安，大家好。
好，
我是台湾国会议长游锡堃，有机会跟大家在这里见面，感到非常的开心。在此，仅代表台湾国会。竭诚的欢迎及感谢各位贵宾的莅临与参与。台湾虽然尚未成为开放国会、开放政府伙伴联盟 OGP 的会员国，也未能签署开放国会 OP 的议会开放宣言，但是在全球笼罩着 COVID-19 疫情危机的当前，我们热诚而坚定地举办2021开放国会论坛，足以证明台湾追求自由民主及开放国会的坚强意志与决心。我们全体国人特别感到光荣的是，台湾是亚洲第一个以非 OGP 会员国的身份举办开放国会论坛的国家。不仅如此，下周由美国白宫主办的首届线上民主峰会，台湾也以非联合国会员国的身份，获邀与全球110个国家领袖一起参加，再证明了台湾的民主开放广受国际肯定。 本次论坛参与者有来自国外20个国家，共26位国会议长及议员，其中实体与会者有12位，线上与谈者有14位，再加上国外专家学者10位，合计国外的贵宾有36位。而台湾国内除了4大党团的立法委员之外，尚有23位专业领域的与谈人及公民团体等，参与人数达到100人之多，为亚洲地区开放国会相关会议中参与国家最广、国会议员最多、阵容最坚强的国际论坛。台湾位居印太战略的最前线，这2年不仅必须与各国一样抵抗疫情，也和世界民主国家一样，同遭威权政体的臭假信息、网络攻击、以商逼政、认知作战等各种威胁。根据自由之家评比，全球195国家所提出的2021世界自由度报告，2020有54个国家被评为不自由，是15年来数量最多的一次。而全球生活在完全自由国家的人口已经低于1/5。这个报告证明，全球民主版图正在萎缩，今后如何力挽狂澜，已经成为我们民主同盟国家共同的课题。台湾国会一直努力往公开化和透明化的目标迈进，除了透过电视及网络同步直播将议事情况公开之外，今年也和开放国会委员会的公民伙伴们一起推出开放国会行动方案，在议事过程中扩大公民参与。人民是国家的目的，台湾是法治社会，当国会更公开透明，公民资讯取得就更加简单容易，人民就会更有机会透过参与立法来决定自己的未来。美国总统杰弗森曾说：“自由之花须由鲜血加以培养。”台湾民主100年追求，台湾有今天的自由民主，和许多国家一样，是从被压迫、被屠杀中走过来的，是100年来先贤用血泪灌溉而来的。因为深知得来不易，我们更懂得珍惜自由和民主。未来，我们除了努力迈向正常国家外，也会尽力帮助其他威权体制国家统治下的人民同享自由。因为我们相信，一个更美好的世界必须是让更多人共同拥有自由和民主。本论坛各场次即将讨论的多元参与、开放透明、公民协力、反贪腐等议题，都是民主国家共同的课题。相信在各位的参与之下，一定能够激荡出新的展望，深化世界民主。最后，祝福论坛圆满成功，各位贵宾、各位女士先生，身体健康，万事如意。谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, President Yo. 谢谢院长. Please return to your seat. Thank you. As mentioned by President Yo, it is vital for democracies to stand together so that we can continue to safeguard the hard-won freedom and democracy. Although the ROC Taiwan is not a member to the OGP, we show our solemn commitment by promoting the Open Parliament Action Plan. And as mentioned, we have over 20 countries to join this important forum. Thank you very much. And next, we would like to invite Ambassador Derek Mitchell, President of the National Democratic Institute of the USA, to give us his remarks.
大家好。
好。
大家好。 谢谢。很荣幸来到台湾参加开放国会论坛。Your Excellencies, President Yo, my friend Minister Wu, Dr. Xiao, Michael, my good friend, Freddie Lim, members of the LY, parliamentary colleagues from Belize, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Mexico, and others patching in virtually. Distinguished colleagues, friends, I will be brief because I understand the Vice President will be coming in just a few minutes, and I want to give him time. But let me thank everyone for joining this important first Open Parliament Forum in Taipei. These are uniquely challenging times, so no one should take for granted what it takes to organize and host this event. I am very grateful to you all and pleased at the outlines of the forum agenda over the next day. NDI is honored to co-host the forum in cooperation with the Foreign Ministry, the Legislative Yuan, and the Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation. I want to thank each of those institutions for their ongoing support and partnership, as well as the National Endowment for Democracy for its continued support of NDI and our partners here in Taiwan. I want to start on a personal note. 33 years ago today, exactly to the day, December 2nd, I arrived in Taiwan for the first time. In 1988, I was just learning Mandarin, and Taiwan was just emerging from decades of martial law to an unsteady and uncertain democratic future. Many in this room will remember the struggles of that time, as well as the many struggles before and afterward. 33 years later, my Mandarin may not be much better, but Taiwan is a different and better place. Just as I never could have predicted how deep and wide my personal and professional connection to Taiwan would become over the years, no one could have predicted how successful Taiwan's democracy would become today, a beacon of human rights and democratic values in Asia and beyond. No democracy is perfect, of course. Certainly not America's, certainly not Taiwan's. We all have work to do. But given its decades of experience, its status on the front line of serious and incessant threats to its security, if not very existence, and its dedication nonetheless to continue to strengthen its democratic resilience, Taiwan is an incredible success story, one we must all admire and seek to learn from. And as such, a critical partner in the defining struggle of our time to safeguard democratic values, norms, and standards, not just in Asia, but worldwide. Over the next 2 days, we will discuss how parliaments can promote political inclusion, transparency, and trust, address disinformation and other information attacks, and contribute to the democratic response to COVID-19. We look forward to that conversation, but I should note that NDI is here to stay beyond these 2 days. In March, we open an office here in Taipei that will serve not only to help support Taiwan's democracy, but as a kind of regional hub to build ties between and among Taiwan and other democracies in Asia and elsewhere. To promote more political engagement of young people and women, share practices to combat digital disinformation, promote collaboration between civil society and parliament, and simply develop greater democratic solidarity and much more. I am excited by the prospects. So I must conclude by thanking my NDI team here for their great work in helping organize this forum and lay the groundwork for all this work to come. Alfred Wu, Pengshun Li, and Aaron Zhang, thank you all. And my colleague Manpreet Anand, NDI's Asia Regional Director, whom you will hear from later in the forum, thank you. Please everyone enjoy the forum. NDI 与台湾一起为开放国会加油，为民主加油，台湾加油！谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, President Mitchell. Especially, we want to thank you for greeting us in Mandarin and Taiwanese. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Due to the pandemic, many good friends are not able to join us today physically. However, we have received the congratulatory messages from several important friends, and please allow me to read them for you. The first letter is from the Honorable Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States, to President Yingwen. A Speaker of the United States House of Representatives It is a pleasure to extend warm greetings to you as you partner with the National Democratic Institute to convene the 2021 Open Parliament Forum. Collaboration between governments on COVID-19 pandemic response and recovery, promotion of pro-democracy parliaments, and strengthening the bonds between freedom-loving peoples is essential as we strive to advance our shared values and interests. The United States of America continues to stand with Taiwan, and we remain steadfast in our commitment to uphold the freedom, security, and human rights of the people of Taiwan. As we strive to deepen our unshakable bonds, the U.S. Congress looks forward to promoting peace and progress between the United States, Taiwan, and the rest of the world. On behalf of the United States Congress, please accept my best wishes for a successful event. We want to thank Speaker Pelosi for her wishes for this forum. She has also prepared a letter for President Tsai. And next, a letter of congratulations from former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. I hereby extend my heartfelt congratulations on the convening of the 2021 Open Parliament Forum. Democracy is like a great tree requiring many years to grow tall and strong. Moreover, democracy around the world is not one size fits all. It must be tailored to meet the realities of each society. Taiwan held its first direct presidential election in 1996 and has since experienced a change of governing party 3 times, establishing a democratic system that meets its actual conditions. Today, the spirit of democracy is deeply rooted in the hearts of the Taiwanese people. Taiwan's robust and mature democracy has been acclaimed as one of the world's few successful models for democratization. I understand that this forum will focus on the strengthening of parliamentary transparency and reliability, methods for developing connectivity between parliaments and civil society, and flexible application of digital technology, among other issues. It is my earnest hope that democratic partners sharing these common concerns can engage in honest and candid exchanges of opinion and insights, thereby creating a platform for ever stronger cooperation. And I wish the event great success. In closing, I wish all distinguished guests participating in the forum the best of health and happiness. Thank you very much, Prime Minister Abe. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a final summary of the message from Sir Lindsay Hoyle, Speaker of the UK House of Commons. I just want to wish you every success in this year's Open Parliament Forum in Taipei. I'm proud to say that throughout this difficult period, the UK House of Commons became more resilient and remained open for business. Despite the lockdowns, the in-house broadcasting unit and parliamentary digital service introduced hybrid proceedings. Also, remote voting and past reader voting have demonstrated great ingenuity. I would be interested to hear the experiences of other parliamentarians. In the meantime, I wish you well and a very happy forum. So thank you very much, Sir Lindsay. So again, we have received the congratulatory messages, also some important video recordings, and due to the time constraint, we apologize that we cannot play them right now, but later during the break, we will be showing you more congratulatory message from our staunch friends around the world. And we sincerely hope that when the travel restrictions are lifted, we will be able to welcome the good friends of Taiwan to visit us so that we can reconnect and renew our friendship. So we would like to express our sincere appreciation to the friends who have sent us the messages, although they cannot be with us today. And again, our deepest appreciation to all of the foreign dignitaries who have traveled from afar to come to Taiwan. As mentioned by Speaker Yo, in this forum, we have members from 20 countries participating in the Open Parliament Forum. So once again, thank you very much for your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency William Lai, Vice President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, with a warm round of applause. So we're truly honored by the presence of not only President Tsai, but also Vice President Lai. Thank you very much. And we would like to welcome Vice President Lai to come up to the stage. We have our excellencies, ambassadors, and honorable representatives over here. So please welcome our Vice President.
立法院敬爱的游锡堃院长，贝里斯众议院伍兹议长，来自立陶宛、爱沙尼亚、拉脱维亚、墨西哥的好朋友们，另外外交部吴钊燮部长、台亚基金会萧新煌萧董事长、立法院林志嘉秘书长，还有台湾开放国会召集人林长佐林委员、赖品妤委员还有赖香伶委员，美国国际民主协会会长米德伟大使，各界的贵宾，所有的好朋友，大家早安，大家好。
好。
首先，热烈的欢迎各国民主的伙伴，不怕威胁，也不远千里而来，来到对抗集权制度、捍卫世界民主秩序的台湾。今天的集会，正如蔡英文总统刚刚所言，是一场民主主义对抗极权主义的聚会，而台湾正是举办民主盛会的理想地点，因为在这里，我们可以呼吸到自由的空气，我们可以闻到民主的味道，也可以看到相挺的民主伙伴就在身边，感受彼此的热情。我也要利用这个机会，感谢日本安倍晋三前首相、英国下议院议长霍伊尔议长，还有捷克参议院韦特奇议长，以及立陶宛西米利特议长，以及线上许许多多的好朋友，透过网络参与今天的盛会。你们的共襄盛举，让台湾在对抗极权的路上不会感到孤单。谢谢你们！联系我们的不仅仅是视讯的科技，还有我们共同捍卫民主、自由、人权、法治的信仰。台湾跟许许多多国家一样，都曾经走过专制独裁的历史，深知民主得来不易。国会是人民的殿堂，也是实践民主的现场。数十年来，就在国会，台湾废止了专制的制度，通过了许许多多民主的法案，台湾朝向民主化发展。但在2014年，当时政府不顾社会的反对，企图强行通过私下跟中国所签订的协议。因此，青年学生发起太阳花学运，占据国会。这场事件成功阻止了协议，也将台湾推向开放政府、开放国会的重大方向，也成就今天更民主、更开放的台湾。 所以今天台湾非常非常重视2021开放国会论坛。我们非常希望，第一点，透过台湾公布以及承诺开放国会行动方案，能够让台湾跟国际接轨，也能够让台湾在不久的将来可以成为开放政府联盟正式的一员。第二，台湾也非常期待未来能够跟国际社会分享台湾开放国会、开放政府的成果，也希望跟国际社会一起努力，帮助目前仍然受到集权统治下的人民，也能够享受民主的成果。第三，台湾也非常希望能够跟国际社会建立一个更紧密、更具韧性的伙伴关系，一起对抗集权制度，让世界秩序能够永续、和平的发展。台湾在过去数十年的民主过程当中，得过许多国家的支持，我在这里要向各国表示感谢。我们也曾经从波罗的海3个国家成功勇敢的对抗苏联得到启发。现在立陶宛为了要强化跟台湾的关系，勇敢的承担了来自中国的压力，让我们钦佩不已。在未来，台湾除了会继续站在对抗集权的第一线，我们也会善尽台湾的力量，积极的回馈国际社会，展现台湾对国际社会能够有积极贡献的良善力量。最后，我要感谢立法院游锡堃游院长，以及林昶佐召集委员各位委员的努力。那也谢谢台亚基金会萧清煌董事长，还有美国国际民主协会会长米德伟大使共同努力，促成今天的大会。我衷心祝福大会圆满成功，成果丰硕。各位远道而来的贵宾都能够对台湾留下深刻的印象。未来有机会，非常欢迎你们再来到台湾，不一定是开会哈，来这边旅游，来进一步感受到台湾人民的善意跟欢迎。谢谢大家，谢谢。
Thank you very much, Vice President Lai, for attending today's forum. Thank you very much. 非常感谢赖副总统。Despite your busy schedule and you're still here with us, so once again, we would like to thank you. We will now bid him farewell and thank him once again for his attendance. So please send off Vice President Lai with a warm round of applause. 我们再次掌声感谢赖副总统的莅临。So as mentioned, democratic partners must stand together, and it is vital for us to continue to deepen our cooperation because we know that we are not alone. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to invite Dr. Xing Huang Michael Xiao, Chairman of the Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation, ROC Taiwan, to give us his remarks. Please welcome Chairman Xiao with a warm round of applause.
Now we came all relaxed. Good morning, President Yu, President Derek Mitchell of NDI, the Honorable Madam Speaker Woods of the Belize, House of Representatives, speakers, and members of the Parliament from afar, leaders, legislators of Taiwan, Secretary General Lin of 立法院 and Congressman Lin, and leaders of the local Parliament Watch, NGOs, and distinguished guests present and online. On behalf of Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation, TAEF, one of the organizers of the 2021 Open Parliament Forum, I warmly welcome you all to take part in this grand meeting of the overall Open Parliament Initiative. What you have just witnessed was not very common. Both our president and vice president come to the one meeting to greet you especially and to support this great initiative. That means how important this 2021 Open Parliament Forum importance. And we should be proud of it. And thanks to the initiative of NDI. Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation is honored to collaborate with Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Legislative Yuan, and the National Democratic Institute of the United States to jointly organize this forum. Our colleagues in TAEF take pride to join this important effort. Although the Parliament although the pandemic continues to spread, I believe that gathering together at a difficult time is the best proof that global democratic partners are steadily building resilience and cooperation. I would like to take this opportunity also to thank you for defending democracy in your own country and for your contributions to jointly build the resilience of global democracy. Resilience is nowadays the popular words and the key words. Just like the manifested challenges faced by many democracies around the world, Taiwan is right in the hot zone of global power struggles. At the same time, Taiwan is also facing multiple risks such as military threat, ideological penetration, and the weaponized economic interdependence from an authoritarian country nearby, namely People's Republic of China. Your arrival can directly witness the multiple challenges at the conference of a democracy. Your gracious support, presence, and active participation will facilitate the progress of a mutual trust and cooperation among democracies, and let the people of Taiwan know that Taiwan is not alone. The resilience of Taiwan to survive the pandemics while keeping democracy alive deserve special recognition. I believe Taiwan's voices, along with our democratic partners, can be altogether loudly heard and clearly highlighted in the coming 2 days. It will not only strengthen Taiwan's parliamentarian democracy, but also makes a very important contribution to the consolidation of a global democracy. I also believe that in the upcoming summit for democracy in DC, USA, President Mitchell and his NDI colleagues will surely play an important role in leading progress of global democracy. The theme that brings us together at the openness and transparency of our parliaments. I would like to emphasize the 3 key elements of it: regular elections, a robust civil society, and vibrant public participation. Today's democracy is quite different from its ancient modality in the multiple ways of practicing and participating in democracy. With the popularization of information and communication technology and to the advancement of science and technology, the process of democracy has become more and more transparent and accountable. And the way to participate in democracy is also accessible, much more accessible. For example, people are familiar with acquiring latest information and even watching parliament members' quality of performance through TV channels, internet, social media, and even his or her smartphone. There are increasing vibrant NGOs and civil society organizations to take part in leading the role in monitoring the Congress. In Taiwan, for example, the Citizen Congress Watch, CCW, that I had the pleasure and honor to making it possible along with my many colleagues, was established in 2007. It has been actively to mold strong public opinions behind it to urge the legislative yuan toward the goals of serving the public interest, transparency, efficiency, civility, and integrity. Democracy is no longer a one-way process decided by secret room politics. Everyone can participate and have the right to express opinions publicly through the bidirectional interaction and exchanges. To me, open parliament is the foundation of open government. I think that open parliament reforms and open government initiative are to make the quality of democratic governance better. That the people seamlessly integrate with the political elite. We firmly believe that democracy is not a political value alone, but also an important aspect of our everyday life. But what I want to remind here is that while openness and transparency are the key features of contemporary democracy today, however, some authoritarian power can still utilize advanced technology capabilities with abundant resources, intending to subvert the democratic values and systems and export their one-party rule ideology. These authoritarian powers can take advantage of the openness and transparency of democracy to undermine the democracy and sovereignty. I believe that during the 2 days forum, members of the respective parliaments of the like-minded countries and legislators of Taiwan will brainstorm together to exchange ideas and action plan to resist the authoritarian infiltration, and at the same time to think about how to further improve the quality of democratic governance through cooperation and on practicing open parliament reforms. As one of the organized, TAEF has been given the task of actively promoting the new southbound policy to enhance the relationship between Taiwan and South and Southeast Asia and Australia and New Zealand. In the past few years, TAEF has the honor to invite many parliamentarians from the region to come to attend the annual Yushan Forum. And at the Yushan Forum, we will also talk about how to improve the democratic governance. When even take our action plan called Youth Development and Young Leaders Engagement, we have also actively discussed with some political decision makers and local councillors on various challenges and joint solution for Asian democratic development. I wanted to emphasize once again that the people-centered rationale of Taiwan's new southbound policy is the fundamental value which also focus the goal of regional social progress and innovation. TAEF also adheres to this concept to assist the preparation for this forum. I look forward to learning from all of you the fruitful discussion among the distinguished guests at this forum. Please join the dialogue for the coming 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman Xiao. Please return to your seat. As mentioned by Chairman Xiao, open parliament is the foundation for open government. And in order to achieve open parliament, we need to have the elements of regular election, robust civil society, and also we need to have active public participation. So we are truly grateful for the strong support from our friends, our like-minded partners to support democracy. And we know that resilience is the key word. And after the pandemic, I believe that democracy should also stand by together stronger ever than before. And now we would like to welcome the remarks from our special guest, Ms. Maria Barron, Global Executive Director of Directorio Legislativo, Argentina. Ms. Barron will join us via video conference.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to TAF and to NDI for helping the government and the Parliament of Taiwan spearhead this event. We've had so many talks for the past, I think, maybe 6 months, and here we are starting off this conversation about transparency in open parliament, which is something that I think will spearhead not only these 2 days of very interesting conversations, but I think in the months ahead we'll be sort of having the bouncing of the ideas that will be discussed in this event. It seems, and also I want to first acknowledge the governments and the colleagues from Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Mexico. And also I want to underline some of the discussions that will be happening these 2 days, especially with some of the colleagues from civil society that I've had the opportunity to exchange with a lot, especially Victoria Wellborn from NDI, Ernie Ko a member from Transparency International Taiwan, Yorgi Karag. I want to underline some of the discussions that will be happening these 2 days, especially with some of the colleagues from civil society that I've had the opportunity to exchange with a lot, especially Victoria Wellborn from NDI, Ernie Ko a member from Transparency International Taiwan, Yorgi Karagvishvili from Georgia, and a couple of other parliamentarians and leaders of parliaments of the different parts of the world. And besides that, of course, the panel where Minister Tang will be speaking as well. And it seems that December the last weeks of November and December is the part of the year that we've all decided to discuss the different ideas, especially in transparency and open parliament. We have had last week or the week before a discussion spearheaded by Minister Tang about technology and open government in Taiwan. We have this event. Next week, we'll have the Summit for Democracy, and the following one will have the World Global Summit that the government of South Korea is putting together of open government and OGP. So I think all of the forums have decided to have this interesting conversation and see what comes out of it and see what can we benefit from, and taking the best ideas into 2021 and forward to see if we can effectively achieve change in the different parts of the world that we're at. I would like to maybe do 4 questions that I have for myself and that we always discuss in my organization and with my colleagues, and maybe share them with you to see if we can see if some of those are addressed in some of the conversations, so we'll that we'll be having the next 2 days or not. Maybe we can come back after the event. The first one, and I think it's important also to join all these conversations and start having continuous conversations from events to events, to sort of not start and end the discussions and also the new ideas that will come up in the different discussions, but also to continue and to deepen what we come up with amongst the different colleagues, which is an opportunity we don't not always have the opportunity to meet and discuss with colleagues from different that are in different contexts and live different situations. So the first one, I want to take a phrase from Minister Tang from Taiwan, actually, which I think is really, really relevant for today. And it's what can we learn from the Taiwanese experience? And I think what can Taiwan bring for the discussion on open government, and in this case today, open parliament. And I think it's really relevant. Some of the speakers before have mentioned, of course, that Taiwan is not part or a member of OGP yet. But it's very interesting for the members of OGP, and some of the members of OGP are present here in Taipei and of course are here in this conversation to listen to the experiences and learn what the parliament in this case and also the government of Taiwan is doing. I think the idea of spearheading this open parliament action plan is really interesting because some of the countries that are in OGP have not yet started that road and have not gone in that direction yet. And it's really an interesting path, especially with the context that we're living today in the world of authoritarianism and shrinking of civic space, which is a point that I want to touch now. But just to end that very, very quickly, I think it's very interesting for the rest of the world to be a watchdog of what is happening in Taiwan, especially in open parliament, given that you don't have as the parliament, all the formalities and all the structures and all the processes that are very strict that the parliaments have to go through. It's sort of a voluntary initiative, and I think it's really relevant that it is like that. The second point that I want to make, or the second question maybe, it's what's the contributions that the parliaments, it's a more philosophical question, what's the contribution that the parliaments have regarding open government? And I think, of course, there's many answers to that, but maybe the community of open parliament, we haven't been so successful in selling the idea or the value proposition in that way. And I think there's 2 points there that we need to put out there and be very clear that that's what we are looking for, that's what we're aiming for right now. One, I think, is that the parliaments are really instrumental today, especially, and some of the previous speakers mentioned it as well, all the backlash of democratic values and freedoms and civic space and regulations that limit all this in the different parts of the world, even some of the members of OGP. And in many ways. So I think that's one of the roles that we see that's really, really clear for parliaments. And the second is a more instrumental role, less philosophical, but more instrumental role. And it's what Taiwan is doing. And it's creating a really concrete product, which is the Open Parliament Plan. This Open Parliament Plan, of course, I don't want to go into the details of that, but it's composed of different ideas of change that civil society and parliamentarians and maybe in some cases the administrative part of parliaments come together into a dialogue and co-create the content of an action plan. And so those 2 points, I think, are really, really strong contributions for the world today, for 2022, that we're expecting many, many parliaments of the different parts of the world to start this path of creating or co-creating action plans. A third point that I want to make also today, or a third question, is who is so we're talking, and some of the predecessors too talked about the robust, that we're aiming to create robust cohorts of civil society in the different national contexts of the different countries. And so who are they? Who are these different groups? And just to be aware that some we call organizations, but most of the times we call them groups because they have different forms, different sizes, different formalities, and some are more informal groups online, some have offices, some have legal status, others don't. But basically we can find many characteristics that join, what they do, but specifically I want to name two or three, which the first one is that in the case of the community of Open Parliament, they're really, really persistent. They've been doing this for the past 15 years. They won't stop doing it. So I think it's really relevant to see that they're here to stay, even though some are new and some are older. The second, I think we can say that they're really, really knowledgeable. So they know the proceedings of Parliament. They know what parliaments are for. They know their parliamentarians. They know the incentives that these MPs have. The third, I would say, is a really networked community. So it's a community that really talks to each other. And that makes the community really, really strong. So in a way, if you're in a country and you get approached with a group, most surely there's a big community behind that specific group that's backing them. And the fourth one, I would say, it's really, it's hard to tell the forms that they have. You have local organizations, you have national organizations, you have regional organizations, and of course you have the international organizations as well. So I think when we talk about robust civil society, that's what we're meaning. And the third one, and just to end with that, is when we're talking about transparency in parliaments, or what do we mean? The fourth question: what do we mean when we talk about transparency in parliaments? It differs, of course, from country to country, from context to country, context, and it differs from one country, and in the next 4 years, maybe it's a different idea that the organizations have or the parliamentarians have in terms of transparency. But maybe all in all, we can say that, and someone was mentioning some of these ideas earlier, I want to mention two or three. The first one is there's a big approach regarding access to information or access to data, and the capacity that these organizations have in the national context and maybe some other parts of the world as well, in aggregating all the data that they access to. In many cases, when they can't access to this data, they litigate against the parliament. So that's sort of a big world that I would say relates to what the organizations do. And then the second, and just to finish with that, it's the organizations, so usually the community want to participate in the proceedings of parliament or in the legislative process. And that's where they would want to sort of know what is happening, not only at the committee level, but also in the setting of an agenda, in the floor discussions, in the different thematic approaches that the parliament has. And I think I'm over time, but I'm going to stop it there. And if there's questions afterwards, of course, I'm able to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Piran, for your wonderful remarks. And as you have mentioned, you gave us some questions about how to promote open parliament, for example, what experience Taiwan can share, and also who to reach out to, how to increase transparency. And these are wonderful questions for us to think further. So thank you once again, Ms. Piran, for your remarks. Thank you once again. Distinguished guests, now we will move on to the opening speeches, introduction to open parliament, then and now. Taiwan has limited number of diplomatic allies, but our allies have demonstrated strong support for Taiwan over the years, especially in the international arena. Today, we are honored by the presence of a speaker from one of our allies. Please welcome the Honorable Valerie Woods, Speaker of the House of Representatives of Belize, with a warm round of applause.
Her Excellency Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, His Excellency Vice President Lai, Minister Joseph Wu, Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Yao Zikun, President of the Legislative Yuan, Ambassador Derek Mitchell, President of the National Democratic Institute and one of the co-organizers, Chairman of the Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation, Dr. Michael Zhao, as well one of the co-organizers of the forum. Legislator Freddie Lim from the Legislative Yuan and other members of the Legislative Yuan who are present today. Ambassador Candy Spitz, Belize's resident ambassador in Taiwan, and other members of the diplomatic corps. Invited guests or democratic allies from Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Mexico, and the United States. Ms. Maria Baron, Directorio Legislativo of Argentina, distinguished panelists, and those participating online. Ni hao, and warm greetings from Belize. President Yao of the Legislative Yuan, thank you for the invitation to be a part of this year's Open Parliament Forum. Your hospitality and that of the people of Taiwan has been, as usual, impeccable. This forum is being held under the theme, Open Parliament in a post-COVID context, global examples of resilience and planning for 2022 and beyond. It has come after Taiwan's first declaration earlier this year of its Open Parliament Action Plan 2021 to 2024. I want to express gratitude particularly on behalf of the Belize Parliament to President Tsai Ing-wen, who is not only the first female president to be elected in the Republic of China, Taiwan, but has been elected twice. Her management of the COVID-19 pandemic is an outstanding example of the transformative leadership of women. It won her global recognition with the recent statement of support from the Group of Seven for the Taiwan Can Help campaign to share scientific and technical expertise, and with their call for Taiwan's inclusion in the World Health Assembly. So, I echo the sentiments, and I quote, "No one is safe from the COVID-19 pandemic until everyone is safe. And Taiwan has much to teach and share with the world." The theme of this year's Open Parliament Forum speaks to resilience. So I hope I do not embarrass my friend, President Tsai Ing-wen, when I say that Taiwan under her leadership is, in fact, a global example of resilience. There is no better demonstration of a country's resilience against threats of authoritarianism in the region than Taiwan's against a superpower. I endorse the statement in the Foreign Affairs News magazine that Taiwan's success is a testament to what, and I quote, a determined practitioner of democracy characterized by good governance and transparency can achieve. Congratulations to you, Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, let it be known, Taiwan is an important development partner of Latin America and the Caribbean. This year marks a 32-year history of bilateral relations with Belize and Taiwan, and along with that, an enduring bond of friendship and respect. Taiwan is one of Belize's main partners in areas of disaster risk management, agriculture, health, education, and sustainable development. And with regard to responsible, sustainable development, we congratulate the government of Taiwan on its announcement last month of its commitment to incorporating the target of 2050 net zero emissions into domestic law. As one of the small developing states in the Caribbean region, which is on the front lines of the climate crisis, we welcome this news, as it is the type of commitment, adaptation, and collaboration needed from global leaders to keep 1.5 alive, to stem the tide of climate change. The people of Taiwan and Belize share the values and principles of freedom, democracy, peace, the respect for human rights, and the rule of law. Therefore, when I became the Speaker of Belize's House of Representatives in December of last year, I was only so pleased to have our Parliament engage in the inter-parliamentary platforms of the Formosa clubs established in Latin America and the Caribbean. We value Taiwan's contributions to the international community in advancing democratic governance. For this reason, it is a distinct honor for me to be here to provide these remarks at the opening of this year's forum in full support of Taiwan's leadership in advancing legislative openness and creating the spaces for discussion on the open government partnership process, which is outlined in the action plan. This bringing together of democratic allies, governments, parliaments, and civil society organizations to exchange views on how to enhance openness, its challenges, and the practical applications for the people we serve is yet another example of Taiwan's global leadership in its unflagging pursuit of democracy. No wonder then that Taiwan has been invited by the United States to be among the 110 countries to attend the first summit for democracy to be hosted by President Biden. This reaffirms Taiwan's contribution to the international community, and it is a strong recognition of Taiwan's efforts in enhancing the ideals of democracy. As President Biden said in the early days of his administration, and I quote, "Democracy does not happen by accident. We have to defend it, we have to fight for it, we have to strengthen it, and we have to renew it." Taiwan has proven to be a dogged and determined practitioner of this. And this two-day forum signifies the unceasing work of the Legislative Yuan in its commitment to its key oversight role of democracy. With its action plan for open parliament, Taiwan has shared the process it engaged in, the lessons learned, and the knowledge gained. Which is why, President Yao, your words, "We shall walk together on this road to democracy," it resonates and neatly captures the critical need of broad public opinion, bipartisan support, and the sharing of experiences from other parliaments, governments, and civil society organizations. There is much we can learn from each other when we work together. Now, President Yao, our parliamentary institutions are starkly different. Taiwan's Legislative Yuan is a unicameral chamber with 113 seats, and Belize's National Assembly, bicameral, with a House of Representatives of 31 seats and a Senate of 13 seats. Notwithstanding these differences in size, structure, and systems, or aspirations for improved democratic governance, legislative openness, and increased public engagement are aligned. The government of Belize, in its Plan Belize program under Prime Minister John Briceño's administration, has pledged its commitment to good governance and an improved parliamentary system for Belize. I recognize this is a process and no easy task for a small country with limited resources. But as the presiding officer of the Belize House of Representatives, I am determined to ensure that our institution moves in this direction. I look forward to the panel discussions as there is much we can take from your experience. With this two-day forum, Taiwan continues to demonstrate that your country is not only one of the global leaders in health, political liberalization, and information technology, but clearly also in democratic governance. This is why Belize will continue to advocate for Taiwan's participation in international and intergovernmental groupings, including but not limited to the UN system bodies, such as the UN General Assembly, the World Health Assembly, and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Belize, like Taiwan, will have to rise to the challenge and the demands of its people for more openness from our parliament if we are to meaningfully join this global effort. We have made positive first steps with the provision of the live stream broadcast of House and Senate meetings, thanks to the assistance of the government of Taiwan. This began with the previous parliament. While it is not a parliamentary TV system, it has certainly provided greater access to the wider public of our House and Senate meetings. Still in its nascent stages, Belize has also established the Joint Public Accounts Committee. This was introduced by our new parliament earlier this year. This committee is chaired by a member of the opposition and with a majority non-government membership component. The National Assembly of Belize also has a website that provides the basic information on which bills and motions are before the Parliament. And we are currently working on a code of conduct for our parliamentarians, amending our standing orders for the House and the Senate, as well as reviewing how we can improve our engagement with the public. Ambassador Mitchell, I'm sure you're pleased to know that these are a direct result of the recommended benchmarks for democratic legislatures. Notwithstanding these initial steps, a significant effort and thrust is needed to embrace the ethos of open parliament for the modern era, and the lessons and exchanges over the next 2 days should prove very useful in this regard. Similar to Taiwan, we recognize the need to bring digital transformation to our parliamentary institution, and an improved online system for accessibility by the public who rightfully demand a higher standard from our parliaments. Lest we forget, parliamentarians are elected to serve the people, and the decisions taken in Parliament ultimately impact their lives. Transparency and openness in the work of parliamentary committees, and a change in organizational culture and administration of the Parliament, frankly, are just a few of the other actions we too will need to take if we are to build a stronger institution. Doing this, as is evident through the actions laid out in Taiwan's Open Parliament Action Plan, will better serve the people, and it embraces the pillars of transparency, accountability, public engagement, inclusiveness, and education. To this end, we are thankful for the bilateral relationship and cooperation with Taiwan. This can help us now to also adopt a robust open parliament process. We can draw from the experiences Taiwan has had in its work across party lines for full support on the journey to a more open parliament, and from the best practices in working with civil society organizations for increased public engagement. In closing, I'm pleased to deliver well wishes from Prime Minister John Briceño and his cabinet, from the National Assembly of Belize, and from our nation for the enduring good bilateral relations, cooperation, and friendship between our two countries. Best wishes for a productive forum over the next 2 days and on the continued implementation of Taiwan's Open Parliament Action Plan. 谢谢.
Thank you very much, Speaker Woods, for your insights. Again, we would like to thank Belize for its strong support for Taiwan in the international arena. Thank you very much. She mentioned democracy doesn't happen by accident. It takes great action and commitment so that we can continue to ensure the lasting existence of democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will take a break. So for guests from Taiwan, please help yourselves to the refreshments in the back. And for our foreign dignitaries, please remain in the designated area and our staff will serve you the beverages. 我们要再次提醒各位贵宾，请谨守防疫规定。国内外的访宾不接触、不交流，请保持防疫距离。Please follow the pandemic prevention measures. Dignitaries from Taiwan and abroad should not contact each other, should not have face-to-face conversation, and please keep social distancing. And ladies and gentlemen, please come back at 10:30. Thank you.
I'm Congressman Michael Guest, and I would like to welcome you to the 2021 Open Parliament Forum in Taiwan. I'm proud of the partnership between the United States and Taiwan, and I look forward to continuing to work on issues important to the people of Taiwan. I wish you the best and hope for a successful conference.
Hello, I'm U.S. Senator Jim Risch, ranking member of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee. It's my honor to visit all of you in the Open Parliament Forum in Taiwan. Taiwan is an example of a strong and robust democracy. Taiwan, making it the perfect venue